Hello, and welcome to another episode of Quarter Variant at a Time. I am Danny Morales, Danny Nine Panels, somewhere over here.
There you
He
are.
is he is Roy, the man, Apex Remy. What is the Namor thing? Imperious Rex,
Imperious Rex.
Imperious
Yeah,
Rex himself.
I love it, man. It's the most cocky thing in the world. I love it. Just kick open the door, kind of adjust your bulge, and be like Imperious Rex. Sock somebody in the jaw, and just let them know. Namor makes the best entrances. I
It's a
love it.
hell of an entrance, right?
It's a hell of an entrance, man. And I really dig that. I'm a little bit beyond kicking open the door and punching somebody in the face anymore. Just to introduce myself to the room, but I like to think I still carry that energy in my heart.
You gotta do it Namor style, right?
Yeah, what would Namor do? You know what I mean? He's such a I don't know. When he's done right, he's like such a great character because I love like the pure narcissism. Like I read a good moment going back in some old X-Force. I say old, but it's still the Percy stuff of X-Force, and where like Namor shows up and he's just like an absolute jerk to them for like no good reason, and then it like banishes them from what they're doing, and it's just awesome, and I love that stuff. And then it was like the only good thing that happened in Sins of Sinister is they used Emma in order to get to Namor, and that's about the only way that it would work. So I thought that was cool. So if
It's
you
like
if you do Namor right, he's great.
to go completely like off the rails to start the show. Was Namor originally a villain or a hero or like an anti-hero? How was he introduced?
Man, you want to talk about like the dawn of anti-hero, like he was mostly anti-hero because he's exclusionary. It was very race centric. It was the olden days, olden characters, and just like it's weird how you have like the blue Kree and the white Kree, and they make these weird distinctions that meant something different then than they do now. Thank God. And So he was super exclusionary towards the land dwellers, and he's very I'm better than everyone. So he was anti-hero, but like tipping more towards villains. And then the way they bring all that stuff back around is when they reintroduced him with the invaders with like Captain America and the original Human Torch, which is John Hammond, I believe, which is an android. And because though if it's one thing that Namor agrees with you on is F Nazis, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
he's
And
about
so
it.
yeah, so Namor shows up, starts punching Nazis in the face, screaming Imperious Rex, and like, I love that. So over time, they brought him back around to, I mean, towing the line between anti-hero and like usually he's there because like he has to be. You know what I mean? Like it's the
Yeah.
lesser of two evils, or he needs so it needs to be some kind of unifying front against something like the Axis of Evil and stuff like that in World War II. And so, and then depending on who the writer is, you can get sympathetic enough to call him outright hero, however you want to do it. But when he's portrayed as a cocky kind of jerky guy, like that's when he's at his best because he's always got like the chops to back that up. Like he really is all of that, and I love that about him.
I l Yeah, he's a character that can be done wrong and or done really right, like, there's
And
and there's sometimes not an in between. Like
yeah, usually there's not an in between. Like, I don't collect any more comic books. You know what I mean? I have like the old like when they revamped it in the '90s and Jay Lee was doing the covers. Like, I have that. You find that stuff in like a 25 cent bin. It doesn't count for anything. But that old '90s Namor series, like that was cool. I enjoyed that. But I don't collect it. It's like Superman for me, dude. I've got like 50 different like unique Superman shirts, and like I hardly have any Superman comics. For me, the lore and like what the kids call the head canon now, like that's what's always been good for me, like the idea and the mythology behind Superman, and the idea and the mythology behind Namor being a narcissistic jerk,
Yeah.
but not being just like a blowhard, like actually being able to back that stuff up. Like you don't just show up in that little fishy speedo and the wings on your ankles unless you
You
can
gotta back
handle
it
your
up a little bit,
gotta back
right?
it up. Yeah, yeah. You can't be hollow with that.
That's great. So, um I'm gonna start off with I ended up going. I was in New York, and next year you'll probably be in New York. Shit, next year you might be in New York without me, dude. I don't know if I can keep doing it. It's a lot, but the saving grace of New York, I will
You gotta
say.
do it with me at least the once, man.
Yes,
The
man, you gonna make me go
least.
again, dude.
I'm,
It's
I'm
okay.
not. I'm not gonna make you
I'm
do
not gonna lie to you. I'm not the kind of person that tracks their steps. Like I don't have a Fitbit. I don't track my steps. So like I don't know what I walked over there, right? But Rocco, who was he walks about just as much as me, had 30,000 steps the first day.
it. Ooh.
And that was just at the convention. We then walked back to the hotel, walked and got food. Like it's wild. It is wild. I didn't
Undoubtedly.
really buy anything because I was on like a very big. I was on Nick duty, as you know, and like I knocked out all of Nick's books, but like that took a lot of time. I didn't get to really. I was upstairs and I got to grab that Derek Chew, that beautiful Derek Chew World Tree variant. I was able to
Nice.
grab a Star Wars variant for Terrain, the homie. But that was it. But what I did get to do since I was down in Artist Alley, bouncing from place to place, I got to chat with a lot of these comic creators, man. Um, Greg Pak. I'm just gonna go off the
Oh,
list like
cool.
people that were cool, right? Like so that way you can in yourself anybody who's watching, you can be like, oh, I heard that guy's pretty cool to meet. Greg Pak, Nick had a lot of World War Hulk books, so I had to go and get that signed. Like I was on the job the first time, and he was the nicest guy in the world. And I was telling him how I
Cool.
love Met Cadet U and Met Cadets, and it's like I tell people it's my favorite book of the last like couple of years, and he was like honored, and he actually ended up giving me a second print of Met Cadets, which is what he was selling at the booth.
Oh,
Signed it.
cool.
Obviously, I had my Met Cadets and I had him sign those too, but I thought that was cool. You know, it's not something
That's
worth
rad.
those, but he was so cool. So like Greg Pak, a G. I got to sit next to your homie Bjorn Barnens, and
Yeah.
he's cool as heck, man. Super awesome. His physical artwork is just as awesome as his digital and his covers that y'all see. Like
Yeah. You were telling me charcoals and stuff like that he's working with. That's amazing.
it's phenomenal, dude. So he's knock out of the park. Obviously, Inhyuk Lee was sitting on the other side of me. He don't speak much of the language, but he's
No.
cool. He's nicest guy in the world. Philip Kennedy Johnson. Since he was only there for a couple days, we ended up taking his seat once he was gone. But he was the nicest guy in the world. At New York Comic Con, they announced that his Action Comics run is finally ending. I credit him as the guy who kept Superman afloat because after Brian Michael Bendis kind of ruined the character, he had the tough job of taking over. They
Gotcha.
canceled the Superman book because Action was over 1,000. They were like, well, somebody's got to write it. And he came in and kind of righted the ship, and he did that War World story, which was great. So Philip is awesome. Um,
Nice.
who else was over there? Tom Taylor and Tom King were super cool. I actually caught an escalator with Tom King, and trying to be Mr. Nonchalant, I just like looked at him. I was like, "Oh, you're Tom King," knowing damn well I know who Tom King is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, I work at a store, man, and like anytime you put out a book, it sells great, and like we appreciate that, man, and we're team Tom King. And what I thought was cool was Tom King then looked at me and he's like, "Thank you, that means a lot to me." He's like, "Thank you for putting food on my kid's table."
That's what's up.
Because he realizes that, and I feel like not everybody super realizes this, but the retailer is that bridge. Like it's
Yeah.
already purchased once we buy it. You know, whether
Yeah.
you guys buy it later or not, it doesn't actually matter to the numbers. It's that we ordered it from distribution. So I thought
Right.
that was super cool of him, especially he's like a top dog, man, you know?
Yeah.
So and then Kyle Willis. Kyle Willis was there. You remember Kyle Willis,
I
right?
do. Yeah. I got to meet him
Kyle
once with
Willis was
you.
there, and he has so not only does he have the one uh shelf that he bought off of us at MegaCon, he
Yeah.
since has found them on Amazon, and he has a
Now it's the whole thing, huh?
whole army of those shelves we used at MegaCon. So he was
That's
right around the
cool.
corner from us. He was cool. Ran into Hank from Bulletproof Comics. He was cool. David Nakayama, another one that I just want to say he gave a super shout out to our homie Roberto Benini.
I saw that. That was super cool.
Dude, I told David Nakayama that we have a customer at our store that subscribes to any David Nakayama cover. And I think David Nakayama is a big deal, like whether David
Oh
Nakayama
yeah.
realizes it or not. But David Nakayama was like taken aback. He's like, oh my God. He's like, really? He's like, I have a subscription at my local store and it's like all J. Scott Campbell's and all Adam Hughes. And he's like, so to hear that somebody has me
As that.
on that
Yeah.
list is like wild. So he did that video for Roberto. He was super thankful. So that's another cool guy. And then obviously everybody that works with Scott's Collectibles,
Yeah.
Tynan, Martin Simmons, the homie. They're getting ready to drop out Dracula this upcoming week. Um, who else was out there? Lucio Perillo was there. He don't speak the English all that much.
No.
He was there with his wife Carla Cohen. Stephanie Hans was there, knocking out some sick watercolor commissions. And then there was a few other people. JR was there, always super nice.
Nice.
People giving him condolences because his pops passed not that long ago.
Sure, he's so grateful to just sit there and hear that from
Right? I
80,000
was like, I
people.
thought about it for 2 seconds. I'm like, nah, he's heard this 60 million times.
Aw, man, yeah.
Yeah. So I got, but yeah, so like he was there. Avi Granov was there, like, and
Oh,
he's
cool.
super cool. Like, yeah, I feel like I haven't heard his name as much lately, but he's a dope
No,
artist.
I haven't either though. Like I just did. In fact, I just heard his name like a couple like days ago or something, and I was like, "Well, I haven't heard of Addy Granov in a minute."
Yeah, yeah. So
So,
there was a lot of cool peeps there. Jeremy Adams and David Papos, who are I feel like they're up and coming writers. They were super cool to talk to. And then I did get to meet Adrian Gutierrez, because he is the artist of Blue Beetle, and I obviously have only talked to Josh, so it was cool to talk to him, tell him how much I've been
see
loving the
both
book,
sides.
and then
So you
Villalobos.
got your cardstock cover.
Yeah, I finally got this. Aaron hooked it up, finally ordered it, but Villalobos was also there, so I didn't take any books to get signed.
Oh,
But when I saw Villalobos there, and he had all the Hispanic Heritage Month books that I could swap,
yeah.
so I overpaid for sure. It went straight to his pocket, so I ain't mad. But I
Right.
bought the Hispanic Heritage Month cover Blue Beetle there on the spot, had him sign it, had Adrian Gutierrez sign it,
Nice.
and then Cully Hammer was there, who's co-creator of Jaime, along with
Okay.
Keith Giffen literally died the day before New Year. He wasn't gonna,
Yeah.
but he passed the day before. So that made me feel like real sentimental about Jaime Reyes, and it's like, the creators of this character, only 50% of them are still here now. So I got Cully Hammer to not only sign my Villalobos Hispanic Heritage Month Blue Beetle, but
Okay.
he did a Blue Beetle remark on it.
Oh.
Yeah, and actually shout out to John King and the people at Essential Sequential, because John did that as a favor to me because I've been doing some favors to him. So it was really cool
Super cool.
yeah, he hooked it up. So shout out to those guys. But New York was awesome, but it's wild, man. All I'll say is Saturday at New York Comic Con is like Black Friday at a Walmart mixed with MegaCon Saturday. And
Man.
just not walking is all I like. But
Yeah, there was like crawling over shoulders at some points in MegaCon, so I can only imagine being busier than that. I just
it was.
like I've never even been to New York. Like I don't really travel above Mason-Dixon line often.
I'll tell you, dude. I'm not a New York guy. Like, it's not my place. Like, I'd rather go probably anywhere. That's not true. I'm sure like Jackson, Mississippi is terrible and stuff like that. But like, I don't love it. Let's just say I didn't love it. Everything was
Right,
like so much more expensive. Like, the only thing that's cheap there is pizza.
right.
Like, that's the only
But
thing.
unlike you, I like getting tossed in a pot with 20,000 people and there being stuff happening like I feed on that, man. That's why I love the con so much. You just run around and just talk to like, everybody. Like I
And that's
love
what I
that.
do love about it, right? Like it, and I will tell you, it was so much more fun to talk to some of these people Thursday and Friday
Sure.
than Saturday and Sunday, because you could tell they were worn down. Like,
Stretching
you know what
thin,
I'm
yeah.
saying?
Sure. It's a
But yeah,
lot going on, man. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah. And then funny, I will say this because you'll laugh at it. Dave laughed about it. So I had to get a commission from Rob Liefeld for Nick, and when I paid Rob Liefeld as much as we paid him for that commission, he was the nicest guy in the world. Like, I can't speak for any other interaction with Rob Liefeld, but in that interaction, he was the nicest guy I'd met.
The best group I belong to on Facebook is literally called a group where we tell Rob Liefeld to shut up. I mean, like when I found it, it was like home because I'm in so many of those X-Men groups, and you see him just like being ridiculous and like I showed you like, and I'm gonna pull it up at the end because I got it right here. Like that one, the foot. Remember that calf where
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he didn't even finish this dude's foot like he never does. And so he
Hey,
got
Manny.
someone else to finish the foot, but they didn't like. I can't zoom in on this. Look at that. What happened?
I just love how if this were an image, like a 3D image that you could rotate, like how
It's a
much
stick,
extra space is there from calf to foot?
like a whole moon. You know, like the
Now,
crescent
I
moon in
will
the
say
sky.
there was no foot drawn on this Hulk. Like I will say that. Like it was not a anyways. He was a nice guy. He was a nice guy.
Such a jerk. Yeah, because you lined his pockets. Like, that man, oh man. And like, don't get me wrong, because like I know, like, like especially someone like Manny might be like, but bro, what about like when you were 12 and it was X Force? And I'm like, yep, absolutely. When I was 12 and it was X Force and all that, I absolutely adored it. And then like pretty much as soon as he got to Image and I saw Youngblood, and I was like, this guy's a douchebag. And then the art is just like over time, like just over time, this whole thing just melted down into something tragic. You know what I mean? And like,
And you know what? And I think I posted it on my Facebook, and Nick said the same thing. He knocked it out of the park on that Hulk commission. Like, yeah, it was an arm and a leg. And Nick literally said that might be the best Hulk he's ever drawn, which implies this commission, like this thing he drew now, is better than the things that Marvel paid him money. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a weird, like it's like I don't even want to say at this point he can't draw, but it's like what he chooses to do when Marvel asks him for it is blows my mind. Blows my mind. You're muted.
sorry, I got the kids, so try to drown out unnecessary baby crying when you're talking.
No
Um,
pun intended. And Manny said arm and a leg. No pun intended.
yeah, dude, I just like, and you know, no offense, and I don't want to break Nick's heart. I know it means a lot to him. I know he paid good coin for it, but I just like that guy's such a douchebag. Like I just can't do it. And like to sit there and watch him like I swear like the big post is like him saying that Jim Lee's Wolverine is mid, and that I swear like he Rob Liefeld is saying that at best Jim Lee draws an equal Wolverine to Rob Liefeld, and I'm just like, then why are we living in this timeline where Jim Lee is the creative executive director of like DC? Like, how long has it been now that when you go and see like a display for like DC posters or something, it's all Jim Lee's art
Dude,
on that
it's almost,
display?
and it's always they don't even bother coloring it because his pencils are so damn good.
Yeah.
Like so much of what DC uses from Jim nowadays in promotion is like pencil art. Like I mean, my
Oh
Batman
man.
is pencil art with I think maybe Scott William inks, but
Yeah.
like there's no color there. You know, it's because Jim. And then when they made one, I remember this when the Justice League relaunched with Scott Snyder like 4 years ago, right before the pandemic, and they did
Right.
1 in 100s, and they were just the black and white pencil sketches of the B cover, but they were Jim Lee's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like usually we all laugh like, oh, it's just the black and white of the regular cover. But when it's Jim Lee, like them pencils, like you want the pencil cover over the color cover, you know?
Well,
Like
yeah,
it's
because you want to see all that cross hatching, dude. He's
yep,
like the king of that stuff, man.
yep,
Like he's one of the first guys that I was ever like, man, these raw pencils just absolutely drive me
yep,
insane. Like I love this stuff because
yep.
I loved it all colored too, you know. And like I like being like I said around 12 in the 90s and watching the huge breakaway of Image and watching what happened with like the move over to color separations, doing it digitally with computers and like it's nuts. And hold on, I lost my point. I'm sorry. Uh, I was just talking about like I mean, just how crazy it was, like the color separations and everything in the art world for comics was changing and going over to like the glossier paper and everything just kept like spiraling out of
And
control.
Jim just kept doing friggin'
And he
crosshatches,
just
hardcore
kept cross
pencils.
hatching it up, dude, and like
Um,
and it's perfect.
so and I'm not gonna pretend this guy is on the level of Jim Lee, but one person that I found really interesting. So Nick got a commission from Eric Larson, so Savage Dragon guy,
Eric
you know,
Larson knows.
um, and and I walk up to him and I notice that he draws. Do I have a pen? I do. So he draws like
Oh,
like this.
wow.
It's so I not knowing, not being privy, I went up to coach and I said, "Did Eric Larson like have a stroke recently? Like, is that has he?" He's like, "No, he's perfectly fine. That's just the way he draws." Dude, blew my mind because, like, like, or like if he had like cerebral palsy or something, like, and it would have been no big deal. It
Sure.
would have been phenomenal that he does it, but it's just how he draws.
That's
It's
just
and I mean
he's just got the monkey paw technique,
dude,
like,
yeah, it blew my mind. I learned something that day. Let's
that's
just
cool.
say.
Eric Larson's rad, man.
He was a nice guy and everything like that. Another guy that was super nice, and this is the last one before we go into picks, is Terry Dodson. Terry Dodson was there.
Oh,
He did a quick sketch. If you want a commission from him, he's like, no problem, and his price isn't crazy, but he wants you to be there. He wants you to watch it. He's not the guy that's like, oh, go, I'll do this throughout the con. Like, he will do it right there, which I thought was cool, and he was super
that is
nice.
cool.
Yeah, Larson, like, I never thought his art was bad at all. So when I saw the way he draws, it blew my mind. It just blew my mind. Yeah, I have a lot of questions. If I ever had him on a show, it would all be about his drawing style. So let's jump into top picks from the week that was. I know I didn't get to read as much as I'd like. I know you also didn't. I have one title that I read from last week that I absolutely
Mm,
want to talk about because I really liked it, and that is Midlife issue 1. It's called Midlife, or How to Be a Hero at 50.
hmm,
You can imagine, it's a 50-year-old man. It's his 50th birthday. He's a bureaucrat at the fire department, so he does not go into fires. He's essentially
yeah.
human resources, like when people have complaints and things like that.
He's a pencil pusher who rides
Yeah,
a
he's
deck.
absolutely a pencil pusher, never gone into a fire in his life. But what I love about the book, 2 things about it. First of all, the book opens, like, literally opens in 1997, okay? Um, for 2 pages, I think it's the main character, it could be his best friend, but for 2 pages, they go on, because remember, it's 1997. So for 2 pages, it's clear that they just walked out of seeing Batman and Robin,
Mm.
and for 2 pages, the character is just going on a rant on how Batman and Robin ruin it. Remember, this is in the time, ruin superhero movies, and nobody's gonna ever take them seriously again. And oh my god, the bat nipples and the bat credit card. And in it, he
Wow.
says Arnie and Clooney ruined it. And it's equal parts probably the reality of the time, and equal parts like an awesome parody, because there is a line in there where he's like, now because of this movie we'll never see Spider-Man or X-Men or Captain America or Iron Man on the big screen, which obviously we did, and they were all huge
Yeah,
successes. But I love that, and it's not a
me
key
too.
point to the story. Like, once they flash forward to modern day, his wife wakes him up from a nightmare, and she's like, "You were talking about bat nipples or something like that," and that's like, like, that's where it stops. It goes on to your real story.
Right.
But I loved it because what it is, it's the premise of like a pencil pusher, and he's kind of a coward. He admits he's a coward. It appears his father died in the line of duty as a police officer, and
Well,
that pretty
rough to
much
live up to. Yeah.
PTSD'd him into not wanting to do anything dangerous. So instead of becoming a police officer, he became a firefighter. This, that, and the third. I say that to say, by the end of the story, a situation arises where a close compatriot of his is in a fire, and he has to run, save the day, and when he comes out of it, he realizes he's fireproof. And that's
Okay.
how the story, it's not a spoiler, but that's how the story ends. There's still questions, was he always fireproof? Did this,
Yeah.
those questions are still to be answered. But I think it's great, the idea of somebody who is literally afraid of something being immune to that said thing.
Right, right.
And like, I feel like it'll probably deal with the mental aspect of it all, because even though he's fireproof, he's probably still afraid of the situation.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
sure.
you have to get over that mental hurdle. So that was my favorite book that I read this week. And then everything else I have not gotten a chance to read. I did want to highlight this book, Knights number 1.
Okay.
I want to highlight it because it's one of the unique points where the comic book comes with like an album, and not like with the book, like you have to scan a QR code, you can listen to the album, but like I've actually heard of some of these bands. So first of all, the Aquabats, while very ridiculous, I've heard of them and I liked their stuff back in the day. Less Than Jake, which is a
Less than
Florida like
Jake.
ska
Yeah.
band, they're on here. And then there's a few bands I'd never heard of: Stampeders, Abandoned Pools, Roy Ayers, Obituary, the Unicorns, Helicopter Helicopter. Um, but yeah, this it's cool. I like it. Like issue one original soundtrack link, and it's literally just a QR code there. So like,
Sweet.
I thought that was really unique. I think in
It's
a world
cool.
where stories are becoming very much the same, to do cool things like this
Absolutely.
is gonna get my money at least to start, right?
Yeah. It's
Jer- Jeremy
well,
Adams is writing Green Lantern, but for this issue, he brought the Flash. It's like a one shot, one off story. So he got me. He got me. That's how you get me. You
that
bring
is
my
how they get
character.
you.
And then speaking of Flash, Jeremy Adams is also back writing the Flash. This time, Jay Garrick. I bought this awesome variant cover by Serge Acuna, but then I also, in the way Roy operates, I had to get the foil cover.
Man, it's pretty, bro.
It's just beautiful. The yellows and reds are really nice on that. I'll admit. I got the John. Is this the one you got too, John Yang?
Of course.
So I got issue one of this. This is Green Lantern
Man,
War Journal featuring John Stewart. First issue slapped, so I'm
dude, that
excited
shit
for
was
the
that
second
issue was
issue.
great.
I did go ahead and get the Matina cover for Godzilla King Kong versus Justice League.
You
I
got that?
had to, dude. Like, I don't know what the story will be. Like, it's all right. Oh,
I
you
got
got
the
the
Jim
Jim Lee.
Lee. I
And
got
I
the
had
Jim
that
Lee.
was tough for me. I got the Matina because I do like the way Matina did Zilla, but
Yeah,
I
that's
also like
beautiful.
that you have like tons of the Justice League there. Like even members you're not thinking of are sitting in this picture. Like Doctor Fate is there, Hawkman, Red Tornado. Like I'll give
Yeah,
Matina credit on this. He pulled an Alan Qua and just drew a bunch of
it's
side
gorgeous.
details.
It's gorgeous. The only reason I got the Jim Lee cover is just because it's such a throwaway thing, you know?
Yeah.
Justice League
It is, and
versus
I don't even
Godzilla,
know if
like
I'll do all 5 issues or whatever it is of this, but I
six,
had to
baby.
at least pick up that first one.
Oh, I will because well, I mean, unless it's like absolutely like awful, like because like we're big MonsterVerse fans in my house, so we love Godzilla and we love Mothra and we love all of those guys, and King Ghidorah is my favorite. But
And the art's really good. I'm actually flipping
yeah,
through it. Who's the artist on this? Christian Dose.
yeah,
Clean art, which is what you need in a book like this, because if it looks too
exactly,
cheesy, you're gonna lose half the people off the get go.
yeah,
And I do love that it looks like it's a proper Justice League book, and it's not just Superman and Batmaning it up. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Yeah, looking back with hindsight, I kind of wish I'd gotten the one that roars when you open it.
Yeah, but the thing about that, and I was talking to Dave about that, that doesn't come out for another like 3 weeks because
Oh,
obviously,
really?
yeah, because obviously, like assumingly, it takes time to like do that. But yeah,
Huh.
you want to know what I'm just realizing this, but like happy coincidence. Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong is written by the same guy that wrote this.
Ah,
Small world, small world.
summoned.
Yep. So there you go. There's the 20 degrees of Kevin Bacon for the day.
There it is, dude.
That's good.
I've got the quickest step to Kevin Bacon that you've seen in that game, bro.
What you got?
Like, so my oldest Kai is their aunt is married to Kevin Bacon's cousin.
Oh,
So
that is like
yeah,
2 degrees right there.
yep. So if I'm just
So,
being an alcoholic away from being related to Kevin Bacon by marriage, that ship has sailed.
so Manny, I have not seen Scotty's
I haven't
Batman.
seen it.
I can imagine it looks cool. I did see Scotty did a cover last FOC for a book called like Zawa or something. It looked wild. It looked wild. It looked like something crazy.
I have not seen it, but I look forward to it. I usually order the Scotties with Manny.
So Titans, I'm doing the Halloween covers for books I am reading. I can't just justify doing them for books I'm not. But I love especially the group shots. Christy Zulo is really doing a great job on that.
Yeah, I love her
And
work.
and then last but not least, and I know you have multiple copies of this.
I do.
I got to give love to the homie Travis Gibb. and Patrick Boymare. This is their sequel to Granite State Punk. This is Granite State Punk Breaking Edge. Travis released this on Kickstarter probably a year ago, and now he's seeing it in print through main distribution. You got the CR Florence cover as well. Um, Congrats to Travis, man, and Patrick, they both
And
worked super
Jerome
hard on this,
and Heather.
and Heather, yeah, and Jerome, because Jerome's got
Yep.
to put all them letters on the
Jerome,
paper.
Heather, all of them, man. It's team effort.
But congrats to all Orange Cone, man, because like they put these out themselves, they put blood, sweat, and tears into them, and then they just hope somebody's gonna pick them up. So like that's my biggest hope.
Mine is
And then you have the medals. The
yep.
medal. Annie, did you send me the oh what? Let me see if I can screen. I should be able
So
to.
while you're looking at that, yeah, I've got the 9.8, the metal for Breaking Edge. This is out there when they independently pressed it through Orange Cone, like you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I am happy to say that I own one of the metal printing plates from the book as well. Oh wow! You come back to me looking silly.
Oh, that's
So
sick. Especially because it's on that green color and you got
yeah, I got to pick from a couple, and this one has the dragon. You can kind of make it out. I'm not taking it out of
yeah.
the foil; it's a giant pain in the butt. But so it's super cool. I love all things Orange Cone, and Travis Gibb is the man. He is a pleasure. You know what I mean? Him, Jerome, Heather, Patrick, they're all super personable, super cool people. Like it's everything you want. You know what I mean? You can talk to Travis about whatever you want to. Anything from comic books that you're into, comic books he's into, coffee. You want to do it.
Oh yeah,
You know
Dunk
what I
it
mean?
has to be Dunkin' exclusive
No,
apparently.
yeah. I mean, unless you want to argue, you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
yeah, I love those guys so very much. So I'm very
Yeah, I'm so
grateful to.
happy for them, and they got the new Kickstarter coming and everything. So,
Yep,
Manny, this is sick. This is sick.
it's dope.
Yeah, damn 23 years since Scotty hasn't done work for DC. That's crazy. And this actually looks like a cool book because it looks like it's written by Jason Aaron, interior art by Doug Mankey. I haven't heard of Batman Off World yet, but that sounds really good. Manny, that's gonna be sick, dude.
Yeah, that's cool.
Um,
Yeah, I see that. Thank you, Manny.
so what you got, Roy? What did you? I know you didn't get to read much.
Dude,
The
see,
covers
well,
that you're in love with this week.
that's the thing is like you are like educating people on cool independent books, and all I've got is like mainstream garbage that you shouldn't read. So, I filed all my books away. I don't know what to tell you. You have to look at them on my CLZ app, which is the way it is. So
It's the Jim Lee.
I got the Jim Lee for this because, like I said, it much like a poster stand and candy bar wrappers, like if everything features Jim Lee's art because it's merchandise, this just seems it felt like a good fit. I got the John Jang also for
Hell yeah.
War Journal because I always open order John Jangs for me. This might not be exactly what I would have wanted from him, but it's rad, and I still think it was one of the better covers. Although the Taj Tenfold A cover was pretty hard too.
Yeah, the A covers were good on that.
I can't. That's how bad it is. I did not read this yet, so I'm behind on Big Game.
You didn't even read Big Game. I'm
I didn't
disappointed.
even read Big Game. Yeah, like I was sitting there, I was looking at my kid, my toddler. He's got me running all over the place, and I was like, man, I had some books I really wanted to get to this week, and John Stewart was one of them in Big Game. I'm absolutely loving that. I'll show it one more time to see a Flora cover for Granite State Punk.
Whoop, whoop.
Children of the Vault. This I read the first two issues. I'm only behind on this. This is not bad. This is a great like bad cop, badder cop story. It's cool to see them get to hash things out together. Very complicated histories, even before they got more complicated in the last 20 years. So it'll be interesting to see how this all shapes up. I think there's only one more issue. It's just they're all placeholder books until they change everything over. I
Till the
fell
new
for
era.
yeah till the new era.
I mean,
I
and
ate it.
so did you do the
Yeah,
Batman Day one? So
yeah,
like that's gonna be cool because like I never was able to get the Batman one back in the day. So like to have both of those side by side is like a thing that I imagined when I had my first apartment.
yeah. No, I absolutely ate it. In fact, hold on. Do I took a picture of it. I don't. This isn't all of them, but this is like a good smattering of like the foils that have come out lately.
Damn. Oh, you even got the rare flavors. You've gone deep.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so that and it's like DC's got pumping them out like nonstop. Some of the ones up there are actually kind of old, like the old Archer and Power Girl is up there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That Boss Logic, you can't see it, but that Boss Logic Batman is amazing. I'm gonna have to dig that out at some point for you guys so you can see that. But like, just like so many foils, and that's not even all of them. Come to find out, like I forgot that Spider-Man 300 foil, and I
Yeah.
don't think Rom is in there either
I
because
was
they're
gonna
all
say
Power Girl.
Rom.
Yeah, so but if you put them all together, man, the last couple this year, I guess, you
It's a
probably have a stack
stack.
of foils like that, man. Insane. But like it's the 30 years again. So it's the generational jump. And I
It's
was like,
coming back, right? You know. And
yeah,
granted, I liked foils when I first got into comic collecting. I remember thinking foils were cool, like much more than the lenticulars. I thought foils were
sure.
cooler. You know.
Yeah, yeah. And you're right, and they are. And so but I was talking to my wife about this because I think that nostalgia is hitting harder than it ever has before because we live in a world so connected. Like like you ever like find like an old toy that you had and you just like, where is this toy from? But now you can go on YouTube and you can be like, yo, 80s obscure toy, and then you can find my boy Dan Larson, the Secret Galaxy, and he's probably got a whole video about that whole cartoon. So you can go and get in touch with your nostalgia like never before. You can go
Yeah.
onto eBay and buy like the stuff like from your past like never
You
before. And
can
I
buy
just
the
I,
exact thing you
the
play. Like, yeah, yeah,
exact
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
dude. Like I remember retro game systems. They were on the like when I was so
that's a good
during
one.
the Xbox, what I think we call like the eighth generation or seventh Xbox 360 around that time. People were like, oh, I still have an N60. You know, people were wanting to play N64s in Mario Kart, right? But an
Yeah,
N64, if you bought one at one of those like vintage game stores, you know, would be like 50, $60.
sure.
Now that nostalgia has hit so much harder that yes,
Yep.
you're still looking for the same thing, but so many supply and demand,
Yeah.
so many people are looking for them that that same N64 that is 10 years older is also now like $100 more, you
Yeah.
know, and it's like
Easily. Yeah.
so it's just crazy, and I think a part of it we've talked about it before. A part of nostalgia is that the generation that wanted it as a kid can
Yeah.
now afford it as an adult. I
Yes.
actually heard Dave say he said this, it was a joke, but it resonated. Paul 50 had the GI Joe helicarrier.
Yeah.
You know, like the infamous
It's
one
like
kid in the
6 foot.
county.
Yeah.
Yeah, one kid in the county had it. You know, and Dave goes, "This Christmas will be the 30-year anniversary of me not getting that for Christmas."
Yeah. There
And
you
that's the
go.
reality. It's like things you didn't get for Christmas and didn't get for
Yep.
your birthday, or things maybe you did, but then they broke or you lost them.
Yeah.
You can now afford to go buy it again.
Oh yeah. Dude, my Skeletor from Masters of the Universe is one of the first ones that ever rolled off the production line. Like, it's not like the one I had when I was a kid, but like, bro, okay, I can get it right
Yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah.
It's
And,
right there
and
where I can reach it.
And Manny was just saying, yeah, like I know Nintendo or well Super Nintendo I think did it, and then Sega Genesis did it, where like they straight up it looks like a mini version of the console, but it just has all the games on there. And I know technically you can mod one to do that as well. Skeletor.
This is one of the first ones to ever roll off the production line. You can tell because the boots are only half painted. That's one of the hallmark signs. In all other Skeletor figures, the trunks are black. These are still purple. The other telltale signs like that you can't really see in the camera, but and it's one of those things where you just know if you're into it. But the painting on the face, he has the peach cheeks where the other paint jobs don't. My head is squishy and translucent. Most are
What?
not. Yep. And then I even can verify that my gear is solid because the straps are longer than they are on any other subsequent printing of the toy. Plus,
Wow.
of course, that B says 1983 Mattel across the butt, so it's expensive. So,
Dude,
like, but this is like an OG, one of the first ones that ever rolled off, and it didn't even cost me that much.
so I was gonna say you end up chasing
Love this thing.
that bad boy down like at a con or garage sale type of thing.
I got that thing on eBay, dude.
Ah,
eBay, baby. My childhood in a box, sent to me in a week, dude.
yep, that's crazy. All right. You want to move on to FOC
Oh, whiskers. Yeah,
or what you got?
hold
What
on.
you got?
No, I did a shake post. Never mind. Hold on. My CLZ has failed me.
Oh, when you shake
What
it,
do you
it'll
got?
just send you a
Yep.
random book, bro.
I love that though. We all argue about it. So
You
this
did
is
do
still
the Sandman.
yeah, I'm still collecting. I'm doing Glass House. This is going pretty good. Like Tiny out there. I mean, it's suitable entrance into the entrance. So I can't think of the word I'm looking for. A suitable thing to put into the franchise, but I don't think it's going to shake anything up. You know, it's not
No,
going to.
no, right? He's playing in their playground and he's doing the
Yeah,
best he can
and
with it.
it's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. I'm enjoying it. Ghost Rider.
Oh,
Found out.
Bjorn right there.
Yep, and I found out that he's going to be done with these covers. So I don't know if that means they're ending this book or if he's just moving on to something else.
I,
But yeah,
I have a feeling they're ending the book because I saw
I do
something on
too.
FOC about like a new Ghost Rider series, which usually
Yeah,
is the indication of all of that.
and this seems to just be kind of dragging and not really going anywhere. And now it's kind of dependent on those little crossovers like the Wolverine
Yep.
Weapons of Vengeance type of deal. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's a good book. I'm not sad that I started picking it up towards the end. But all of these books, all of these street level books, are all over now. Like Moon Knight is going to be next, coming up next here. It's going to be something else I'll talk about. All of that shit, Daredevil. But so whiskers. So here's I buy this. Don't do what I do. Do not give Rob Liefeld your money. Do not support him. This book is awful. Like
Is
I
that
don't even.
Batter Blood, right?
Yeah, it's battered blood. It's absolutely awful. Like it's terrible. Don't buy that book. Don't give Rob Liefeld your money. Honestly, I don't know how the new Daredevil's shaping up yet because it's only 2 issues in. I haven't read either of them. Like I said, it goes to the same thing. Like Jed McKay absolutely killing it on Moon Knight, so we're gonna take that book away. You know, Zdarsky absolutely killing it on Daredevil. We're just gonna take it away. But he's been running that now for a couple of years, I guess.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine he wanted to step away, just like Tom
Yeah,
King wanted to step away from Batman and
I can
everything.
see that. Crypt of Shadows. I doubt that this has got anything mind blowing in it. It's the same thing that happened last year. They dropped
Yeah,
the Crypt of Shadows, and like it had me thinking, like, does it like because instead of just being like Crypt of Shadows #2, they're just gonna make it an all new volume and an all new #1 just for 1 issue.
yeah,
Like, and then that's kind of like what's going on with so what's going on with like Immortal X-Men and all that stuff. They're just gonna cancel all that again and then just start at #1 again. I think legacy numbers are like the absolute death knell of like consistency through any kind of series. Like it's kind of heartbreaking to me.
Ooh, is that the Inhyuk Moon Knight?
Yeah, yeah. The
They
last
need
3 issues
to
are
that. I saw so many people FOC like that had that in their box. I'm like, holy cow, this is a great cover.
yep, the last 3 issues are all gonna be in Hyuk Lee covers, so I'm stoked about that. I got Spider-Man Miles Morales. This
Yeah.
is the introduction of the vampire hunter outfit that I saw getting kind of clown in different places across the web. But like I thought it's cool. It's not like that's what he's gonna look like forever. You know what I mean? Like
Right? Just like when they
they're
gave him the hoodie, and it's like he
yeah,
had the hoodie for like 3 months.
they're shaping up for like Spider-Man is doing gang war and like Blade and the Avengers and Miles, they're doing vampire thing. That's what's coming up. And so this is kind of setting up for that. Uh, I have Blade, the mini that's going on now. I got that Vampire Nation one shot last year, so and Bloodline as well. So I kind of I'm clued in on what's going on
Yeah,
here,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I like where it's heading. Is it silly that Blade's got a magic outfit for Miles Morales that includes holy water for his webs? Yes, it is a little silly, but like, dude, shut up and enjoy. He got the laser sword.
Yeah,
What's
right?
the
Like
what
it's
does the
all silly.
costume matter? Like, just calm down. It's a cool costume. So still enjoying that. Still, as my tagline says, Marvel hates me. I don't know why I have to buy this
Now
shit.
you have to be buying an Iron Man book,
Now I
Roy.
have to be buying an Iron Man book. Like, and it just like things are really gonna
They
change for
are
me.
those are Kale covers, right? Kale's been doing
Yeah,
all the A co
yeah,
I
that
mean, Kale's
helps. That
killing the
helps.
covers. Yeah,
That
yeah.
helps. That helps. But like this stuff is awful. Like, don't read it. I'll never read this. I don't know what this is. You can't even. It's the
What is that?
Astonishing Iceman.
Oh.
It's a great cover,
Dude,
but for some reason the light is just
even Dave
not
said after
good.
the second issue, he just like he wasn't loving it, and he loved the first issue. Like,
I did not.
but yeah,
Look,
Dave wasn't about it.
I want the representation. I want the inclusion. That doesn't make every character great.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
this just wasn't great
yeah.
writing. It wasn't great characteristic. I'll never read anything that this guy Steve Orlando writes ever again. And I've never even said that about a writer in like 40 years pretty much of reading comic books and everything. Never reading this guy's
And
writing
here it
again.
is.
Never reading anything Steve Orlando writes ever again. This I haven't read this, but I'm looking forward to this. All things in the Gargoyles universe have been awesome. If you like
Yep,
this cartoon,
yep.
so this was a cool Andolfo cover. This is a nice little Halloween one shot. Like I said, if you like Gargoyles, I'm sure whatever's going on in here is not a letdown. Drew
No,
Moss is
no.
great. He does the interiors for Dark Ages. He's in the Gargoyles fan group, so you can go in there and interact with him, and and that's amazing. It's good stuff. So I like that. A higher level guy that likes to play in these little groups.
Mhm, mhm.
It's good stuff. My Scotty, I got Spine Tingling Spider Man.
Dude, I heard that book. Like, I flipped through it, and then Carly had read it. I heard it's actually really good. It's like a horror Spider-Man story, but
Yeah,
like when we say horror, like it ain't meant for a 12-year-old. Like,
no.
like it's good.
And the art was cool
Yeah,
because originally now I haven't read this one. I only read the Zero, which
yeah,
was the collection of the web comic,
yep,
and that was a good story and it worked. And like especially because neither one of us are big Ahmed fans,
yep.
and this wasn't tragic, and so I went ahead and picked up the Scotty cover as well. Also helps, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But this is something where this one has got like this one to get me, and if this isn't
Yeah,
a good,
yeah.
then
It
I like
seemed
this
really
guy.
good. Carly was talking high about it, and the art looks clean.
In a really weird shot of getting me to buy a second printing. I got
Y-
this.
John Tyler Christopher JTC.
Yeah, and it's the negative cover, but it's now filled in with the galaxy as opposed to just the pure purple that it
Yep.
was on
I
the
think it looks
release.
way better.
Oh, it does, and having the two of them is choice. Like
Yeah.
I really, yeah, like I got Grimm. This is a book that my eldest still pretends to read, so that I keep collecting it for them. This
Lauren just got caught up with Sirens of the Sea. She said she liked it.
This is a good story. I'm only behind this one issue.
Yeah.
This is a good story. You should read this. And they're gonna wrap it up like 5, 6 issues.
I think
So
it's
this is
6 is what she was telling me,
I
yeah.
think it's 6. It's
So 2 to
totally
go.
worth it. This is a cool BIPOC creative team tackling fairly familiar territory with a different twist on it. So it's nice. It's neat. I liked it. And then I think that's it for me. And then I'm going back into last week's stuff, which that was a cool cover.
Batman. I ended up going
Yeah.
for the A, but that was tough choice because that was sick.
That was a cool cover. I got Superior Spider-Man Returns. I love Superior Spider-Man. This happened while I was out of comics. I came back to comics, discovered that there was a point in time where Otto Octavius had switched his mind with Peter's body and became Spider-Man and did a better job of being Spider-Man than Peter did. And I was like, yes, please. And
Is
now
Dan,
Superior. Go ahead.
is Dan Slott writing that one too? Is his
Yes.
name on the top?
Yes.
So, last thing about New York,
Okay.
Dan Slott, nice guy. If you're getting your book signed by Dan Slott in hopes of a 9.8, I don't have an answer for you. He nice guy, but Lord, does he have a story? No, he has a story for
Oh,
every book you put in front of him, and he has to show you his favorite page in it. He
I
has to
like
open
that.
the book, and it's a cool interaction. That's what I'm saying. Like it's cool. But if you're like just getting it graded, like you're sending
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
appearance of Spider Boy, and it's like, oh,
Yeah.
he might read your book. He might just read your book in front of you.
Right. Wow. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, for me, that's the part that I really dug about that. Like Jay Anacleto was like telling me about like some of the unknown covers I bought and like what he was thinking of when he was drawing those images,
Mhm.
and that's cool. Nakayama was like that. Also, never failed for me to chime in. Also, that he was a heck of a nice guy.
Yep.
But yeah. Oh, but it's also funny when you go and you get something signed for someone else and you don't know that person because they're sitting there thinking that they're king dog of your universe, and
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, That's cool, bro. If you could just sign this so I can get on. I got
Dude,
my
that
biscuit
literally
ticket.
happened because the guys in front of us are like chatting it up, like all these stories. Like I know a little bit about what Dan Slott's done, Spider Verse, but they're talking about like some other
Right.
stuff. And he's like, "Yeah, I intended on doing this, this, and that." And then I'm just like, "Man, I just need you to sign this one book."
Yeah. Hey, bro, can I cut in real quick? You just
Yeah, y'all keep talking about what y'all talking about, but can you like just like put the John Hancock on this bad boy, please?
so yeah, so I enjoy that part where I get to feel like I don't give a crap about how
It
special you
is,
are,
it's
man.
nice, but then you feel like a little awkward when you're like, I need to cut in here, guys. Like,
I don't. I'd be like, yo, 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 it's your time, bro. It's your time. I'm on the clock. Uh, Blade, I want to show off this Manhanini cover.
oh
Not a big fan of this contest or new champions
yeah,
idea.
but that
Not
Mahini's cover colors is like it
yeah, yeah.
pops. They need to make his covers foil because that's how good they are.
Yeah, that would be rad. And then like it's harder to see on my phone, but the way that it actually goes from the cooler to the warmer
That's
colors,
exactly what I'm thinking. That's why I
yeah,
said it looks so sick
yeah,
foil.
it's a way better gradient like while you're looking at it than my
Yeah,
phone will show you because the vampires behind are all, blacked out. So as
yeah.
they're breaking up more of the blue and everything, it's like I said, it's nice and you get the point. I don't even know who did this one. Oh, Gerald Perel. I don't know who he is, but I know that he can
I've
throw
heard the
down on
name so
Storm.
much, and it impresses me. I think they've been doing a lot of X-Men work on covers mostly, but like they do good work. I'm not super familiar with the person, but I've heard the name a ton. That's a great Storm cover,
Yeah,
Mohawk.
I'm gonna have to do the work next time and just pull the books out. This is not working. This is cool.
That's
Casa
sick.
Grande.
What
Yeah,
book is that for?
it's Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
Number 36 or 35, whatever they're on. I just think that I think because they're doing the Marvel Zombies again, and
Yeah,
like
because I did
Casa
right.
Grande
We
is doing a
noticed
lot of
that
that.
there was a lot of covers like that coming up.
And Casa Grande is good, and style works for this, so I'm
Yep.
for it. Spider-Man India wrapped up. This
Yes,
was good.
finally.
This was good. Nothing ground shaking. My wife was really hoping that it would be like the Spider-Man India from Across the Spider-Verse, where it was like more peppy and like
Very
everything's
kind of
just
funny.
perfect. Yeah, and it's not that at
No.
all. No.
You know who I think
So
would write a six Spider-Man India, and I'm kind of pigeonholing them, but
Ramvi.
Ram V. Ram V. I
I knew
think he'd
you'd say
have
that.
equal parts the tragedy of Spider-Man and equal parts like the humor, like I
Sure,
don't
and
know.
definitely, yeah, and I mean, but I mean, who is the
He's
guy
I
doing?
did find out in my interview with him, which will probably be on Blackbird like in a couple weeks. He is exclusive to DC, which means he can do creator owned work, but he can't like just go do a Marvel or like
Yeah, yeah,
Conan or something like that.
right, right, right. That's cool. You got to talk to Ram.
I did about Rare Flavors, dude, which blew my mind. Like it's a great book, everything like
I
that.
love it.
So, like it was
I'm really
awesome.
enjoying your flavors.
Let's jump to FOC real quick. Why are my dogs
Yeah.
going crazy?
Sorry.
Hey, stop being a dog. Stop
Stop
doing.
being a dog.
All right, she's just doing her thing. Um, so FOC, I have it up. Right off the bat, Boom has me super interested. I guess I have to accept these cookies, but Boom has me super interested. This is apparently just an ash can, the way that Rare Flavors got like that little ash can preview. But this is Animal Pound. All right. Um, Written by Tom King. So all right, now got some people's attention there. And then it's essentially Animal Farm, and that's the solicitation. It tells you is
Yeah.
comes a bold reimagining of George Orwell's timeless masterpiece, Animal Farm. But it's so that process of Animal Farm, but it's in the modern day, and all the animals are in the pound instead of on the farm in 1950 whatever. Um, I do imagine it will be a little political, as both Animal Farm were political for the time, and Tom King lately has really been getting, and like not in a bad way, but like the new Wonder Woman is a smidge political, and like so I can absolutely imagine he will hit those tones. But man, you tell me Tom King and a reimagining of Animal Farm, and I'm in. Like I know like Animal Farm's maybe not for all people, but that was a book, a novel that I truly like enjoyed as a kid, as a middle schooler.
Sure.
And I like any reimagining or rendition of that. I do find that interesting.
Absolutely.
Um, Lotus Land #1 is out here. Just because I like to point out the #1s. Darcy Van Polgeist is the writer on that. Don't know much about that, but it's there. I've been semi liking these Batman or these DC holiday covers. My biggest complaint is, does DC really think people are gonna cut the covers out and
Lord Grantham's going to buy two, so he can do just that.
because like I think it's great. I think I love the art. Like this one is Dan Mora with all
Mm.
the kids on Batman and everything like that. And I think it's great. It's just like, and I FOC'd it, but I'm not cutting it out. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go tell this dog to be quiet or bring her in the room. Give me 1 second. You guys
Okay,
look at that.
sure. Just scroll amongst ourselves. Yeah, I don't know. They got the Harley Quinn one, and there's a Poison Ivy one as well. I know that. I gotta look through those. But yeah, like it's weird. I mean, surely, like he's saying, they definitely don't expect you to do that. But I mean, it'd be nice if you got a little extra cash, why not? You know, get one just so that you can chop it up. You know,
I mean, and like they're pretty covered. Like, yeah, like if I had the funds, I guess I'd get two and like cut one up. But like, I'm not cutting the cover off my reader copy, even if it is just a reader copy.
right?
It's weird. Batman and Robin #3, you just showed off. #2, Kale is doing a cover on that as well. They
I
are
got that
starting
too.
to roll out these McFarlane covers, which is literally like a photo. I want to say it's a photo because there is no cover artist credited. So yeah, it's literally like that type of action figure photography. So like this,
Which is pretty cool. I see some really cool ones.
yeah, yeah. Like if it's a book that you like or a character you like if they do a Flash one, I'm buying it.
Sure.
So like
It was hard for me to not get that Finch cardstock, but I went for the KO.
the Finch is real badass, but Kale kills it. And to be fair, it's one of Kale's like less involved covers,
Yeah,
but the card just looks phenomenal.
yeah, it is.
What else we got? Detective Comics by Ram V. He's been telling me he's got like 2 or 3 more arcs left on that, and then he's moving on to some really cool stuff that I'm not allowed to talk about because he told me off the record.
That's what's
But
up.
let me just say it's really cool stuff. Like if anybody were writing it, but I think Ram V writing it is like gonna make it extra cool. Green Arrow is issue 6 of 6, but it has the holiday cover featuring Green Arrow and Black Canary. Green Lantern 4 has some cool covers. There's a Mike Deodato Jr. Artist Spotlight cover, which I think is cool. Art Germ is doing the Harley Christmas one, which is again, like man, beautiful. I think what DC should have done is these covers should have been full art, the covers, and then they should have offered comic stores bundles of 10 of actual cards, and they would have cost money, like the way like previews cost money and stuff like that, and the stores could decide if they wanted to sell. Like at Blackbird, we sell greeting cards. We probably would have ordered them, to be fair.
Right.
Anyways, that's an idea for next year. I think this Paquette Stargirl cover, I'm like beating myself up that I didn't collect the first 6 issues because I almost want to get this Stargirl cover because I just love Stargirl's aesthetic, like the staff, everything is so cool with that character.
Sure. Feel that.
Outsiders #1. I don't know much about the Outsiders. I know this book is featuring Luke Fox, who's
Right.
originally Batman. He recruits Kate Kane. And it's written by the writers, the writing team that does Batman Beyond, Neo Gothic.
Crap.
So Lansing and Kelly are both writing this. So
Because this one was hard for me to pass by because I was like, bro, I don't know if I need to get in an Outsiders book. And I was like, the Luke Fox and Batwoman. I'm like, I don't know. And now, this is a tough one.
it is a tough one. Me and Dave went back and forth on this a bit. Like Outsiders doesn't like historically sell well, but like Luke Fox has never been in the fold. Um, the guys who write Batman Beyond are phenomenal writers. There's a Dan Mora. There's a lot of things going for
Yeah, a
it.
lot of things going for it there.
Yeah. So, but I think it'll be a good, nice little jumping on point. Dawn in DC. If you've been wanting a Kate Kane Batwoman book, like this is absolutely your chance. And if you like
There's
I
no.
Am Batman with Luke Fox, then this is probably also your book.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it's not really like a jumping on point. It's a maxi, like it's 1 of 12.
Yeah, that's true.
So like
That is
that's like you and like if I were looking at it from an ordering standpoint, I'd be looking at it from that because isn't this something you kind of almost know you're either gonna do or don't? You know what I mean? Like faster than you would an ongoing.
pretty much because it's not an ongoing and it's not a 6 or a 5. Like, you're
Right.
kinda in that weird spot, like, "Alright, how committed are people gonna be to
A
this?
year,
How
yeah,
committed am I
more or
gonna
less.
be to this?" Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's part of the reason it's like I am not getting this off the bat. Like, if obviously I hear great things when it comes out, I
Uh-huh.
might pick up a copy, but it's like it's tough, it's tough. It's just the
It's tough.
situation, but like I said, if you're a Kate Kane fan or a Luke Fox fan, this is your opportunity to have a book starring your favorite character. Um, Poison Ivy has the Christmas card cover. That one's done by Dustin Nguyen. I like that one. Speed Force #1, baby. So
Thought
only
about
two
this one
covers,
also.
keeping it simple. A cover by the interior artist, and then Lyrics is doing a B cover. Of course, I got both of them. Of course, I
Yeah,
did. Lauren's only gonna kill me once. I can only die one time. Like,
that's that's the belief.
so, that is cool. Vigil by Ram V. Wesley Dodd Sandman #2 is a thing. Wildcats is at 12.
Final issue.
Yep. World's Finest Teen Titans is at 5 of 6. Then Marvel, I'm sure, has a million things. I want to remind people about the Spider-Man 2 movie variant covers. These were kind of late additions to initial order, so you might not have seen them a week or two back. So this is, I think, the second or third cover of these. Is this Amazing Spider-Man 38? Um,
I got all of those, I think.
oh, there's actually going to be two on this FOC because there's also
At
the Gang
least
War
there's
First
at least two.
Strike. Because, like you said, we're getting ready for Gang War.
Yep.
What else is in here that I find like uber interesting? Bjorn doing a Captain America cover is pretty sick. Like with Moon Knight kind of in the background. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, I do. Did I order that one? There, I don't think I did. I had a really tough week not buying thirsty covers,
Yeah.
like, and not necessarily thirsty the way we normally talk about them.
But
Just
yeah,
like
it's
to
just like
me,
it's
that's
a
a
book you're not reading, and it's like, damn,
yeah,
do I really?
yeah. To me, that's a thirsty cover. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Kendrick Lim did a great job on this Captain Marvel cover. Like, it's
Speaking
not a book
of,
for me, but Kendrick Lim always does a great job. Um, let's see what else.
yeah, all the Moon Knight covers
Oh,
anyway.
Roy, how
Yeah,
many of these
yeah.
covers you getting, dog?
I only got the one, man. I
What'd you
only
go
got the
with?
one. Which one did I get?
Scotty?
Yeah, I got the Scotty. Yeah. I
So
wanted to get the
Manny,
insignia, but I didn't. I just
Manny,
got the
don't
Scotty.
forget there's at least one Scotty. As I go down, I'll point out more.
Everybody order
Um,
Howard the Duck #1.
Hulk's got a few covers, crazy. Iron Man looks like it's no longer an X book, Roy. You're safe.
No, he's fighting an Orcus Sentinel right on the cover there, buddy.
Ah, I guess you're right. I guess you're
I
right.
think it doesn't have the Fall of X banner on it, but I think at this point I might as well, you know what I mean? Like that's what I hate about it. That's what I hate about it. You might as well keep getting a couple issues, make sure at least
Make
this one,
sure,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we
Luke
got a
Cage
Luke
though.
Cage book talking to ground the what do you call them? The ground level heroes, is that what you call them?
Yeah, street level.
Street level. So Luke Cage, it looks like this is probably a one shot, like leading into Great Gang War, more likely than not.
Yeah,
Written by
probably.
Rodney Barnes though, so Rodney Barnes, good writer. I like Rodney Barnes. What else we got? We got the Marvel Zombies because we got to do that again, right?
Good.
Miles Morales Spider-Man 12. It does also have
That
a
suit
Spider.
rules. I love
That
this
is a
game.
cool
I
suit.
have this game.
They call it the biomechanical
It's
suit.
the
That's
biomechanic. It looks rad in the game. Like I'm playing it. That's what's in the back on my TV right now. It's the pause screen for Spider-Man 2. I love
nice.
that game, dude. It's so much fun.
Dude, and this Moon Knight Inhyuk Lee is
Yep.
sick, even better than the last.
Yep.
Let's see what else we got. So it looks like Secret Wars Battle World. Got that one shot there.
I got the action figure variant for this.
Action figure variant. Is that
Dude,
so?
look at this cat. Look at this Miss
Nice.
Marvel. Like, are they homaging the Iron Man cover that we just looked at?
That is weird.
What is this laziness? Sorry, I just saw
Dude,
that.
I
And
don't even remember Sentinel Super looking like that. That's alright.
no, they do now though,
Oh, they do now? Okay.
because they have Iron Man's tech.
Oh, okay, that makes sense then. Okay. So
Yeah.
Predator Wolverine's got a cool Andy Kubert cover. Love Andy Kubert. Oh, did you go with this even though there's no art, Roy?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Unpredictable, dude. Unpredictable.
She-Hulk 2's got some clean covers. Ooh, I don't that is a cool cover. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it. Um, I feel like this is one of the better window shades covers because it's like actually has the care. Like I don't know,
It
it's
is
like
one of the better window
decent.
shades.
Spider Gwen Smash. I don't know if we really needed a third Spider Gwen book this year, but we're getting it.
I think it's just a one shot. And I picked it up because I think that if you read the synopsis, they're gonna introduce like new versions of like popular characters. So
Gotcha.
from a stupid spec point, you know what I mean, and the Ivan Tao cover help.
I was gonna say that Ivan Tao cover is clean.
Yeah, I went with the Ivan Tao. Even though that Peach Momoko site.
There's two Momokos, and they're not even like one of them is foil, one of them isn't, but they are not the same art. Very interesting move.
Yeah, it was interesting. I did not ask for that foil.
Ejikuri doing a great job on this Spider Woman. So Spider Woman #1, written by Steve Fox. Haven't really heard of him, but good Ejikuri cover.
This one was difficult for me because I just couldn't do two of them, and I needed that Kale New Moon Knight.
Oh, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you on that. I think it's more involved cover. You know,
Yeah,
Ejikuri did a great job, but he
she's
definitely did like
beautiful there.
Senpei Art Germ, where he doesn't do much in the background, whereas
Right,
Kale, went with the Allen style where he throws a ton in the background.
stuff's going on.
What we got? Time to go back and order more. Oh man, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Scotties, and I wouldn't be surprised if I don't see maybe one more Scotty. Oh, speaking of Star Wars, did you see Alan's cover for the upcoming
yeah,
Darth Vader, dude?
I did.
Sick cover.
Absolutely.
Uncanny Spider-Man 4, Uncanny X-Men 142 facsimile. Roy, what happens in X-Men 142?
That's the end of Days Future Past.
Oh,
So,
okay.
like, a lot of people think that that's some, or they used to believe that it was like some overarching story, but like, it's really just like two issues. And so the first one is the one everybody knows with like Wolverine and the wall where everyone's like dead,
Yep.
and then this is the issue right after that. Oddly enough, they did not release this one as a foil, so I did not order this one.
I thought that was interesting. Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
like
because
one
remember last
version.
week I told you that I was excited because it's the first time that I'm getting a foil for an issue that I actually have. So I was excited. I think to have thought this was going to be foil, so I could have both of them, but nope.
Yep. Which Wolverine cover did you get? Did you get
I
the
went with
EM Geist?
yeah, I went with the Moon Knight. I
And
love
then
Moon Knight.
are you doing X-Men Blue Origins?
Yeah, so
The
they can
definitive
take everything that it
Nightcrawler.
used to be and destroy everything all over again. Yeah, I did it.
They're saying it's the definitive Nightcrawler origin story, Roy.
Yeah,
So
that's how they
there you
make sure that they really, really, really just tear everything about it all apart.
go.
But I definitely got the cover of them making out on the cover with them making
All of
out
these
because
covers are actually pretty good, to be fair. Like the A cover is Francis Manipul. EM Geist Mystique cover is great, and then the Dodderman making out cover is great.
Claremont made me kinky.
All right, let's see what's on Independent before we jump into next week's books.
I'm gonna
This
get Nicole to make me a shirt that says that.
is let's see. Gosh, this used to be so much easier when it was broken down by distributors. So
Big
I
man.
will say, Dave loved Beneath the Trees Where
Yeah,
Nobody Sees. I did not read it. I didn't want to take the last one off the shelf, so I'll wait for a second print. But Dave said it's like Dexter meets like Paddington Bear. It's like serial killer with cutesy vibe. Like it's cool. So
yeah.
big game. Uh, Invincible hardcover for those of you that need that hardcore stuff. Um, let's see what else. Let's see what else. I'm sure.
Dude, you know what's wild? You know how I got that 3 volume compendium for Invincible?
Yeah.
Like that number one is actually going up in value.
Oh, really?
Yeah, isn't that weird? Like to see like something that is for all intents and purposes a trade, like go up in value. Like it's just like
Yeah,
seems strange to me.
it
Maybe it's
keeps
just
happening.
because one of those things where they're not printing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
exactly. It's
don't
out of
know.
print.
But I was like, that's nuts. I was like, there, like, because I have the cover price attached to my CLZ, so it shows me
Hmm.
what my values have gone up and down. And they're like, oh, you're big money today, Playboy. And I'm like, oh yeah, what changed? And they're like, this, like, people are paying more money for this compendium. And I'm like,
Yep.
that's weird.
Yep. There's
I'll
some
take
that
it.
are worth a decent amount, and then there's some that are worth dirt. It's
Yeah,
like it's wild to me.
yeah,
One of the things I wanted to show off that I think is kind of interesting: GI Joe #1, the Hama cut.
yeah.
So it is not a facsimile because it's not going to have those old ads and stuff, and it is changed in the sense that it's his original. How did they describe it? It's his original
Scripting
unedited
dialogue.
dialogue. So it's essentially what Larry turned into the editors before it was edited. Not to say that they were editing heavily back then, but it's cool. It's the Snyder cut of GI Joe.
Sure.
And then they are doing GI Joe 301. I find it so interesting that with the changeover to Skybound, they did choose to stay with legacy numbering instead of doing a #1. Um, Interesting.
Because legacy numbering is just a Deus ex machina for let's cancel this series. Like even that gargoyles. Supposedly, what I saw is that they're gonna go to like issue 12, and then that's gonna be like the end of that arc, and then they're gonna take time off to do whatever they want, and then when they're ready, they'll just come back and do another arc with number ones. Like I said, like legacy numbering is like the end of 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 a numbering system making sense, and it seems like to be the most lazy thing ever. And it makes me get twice as much of a giggle out of my Deadpool number 900 because they were like, no, we're just gonna go ahead and do 900 before anyone else does it. And you might as well because it's the numbering is so arbitrary, dude. Like I was just talking to keep it going. Like I just hate the legacy numberings because you don't have to like let's launch a comic and like let's keep it going. Like let's have a Uncanny X-Men number 544. And then as soon as they're like, you know what, this is kind of in a bag, let's cancel it and do another one. And now you're on Uncanny X-Men, or they're not even Uncanny anymore, but now you're on X-Men Volume 6, so there's five more volumes in the span, you know what I mean? When one volume lasted for 50 years. Like it's
It's
just
it's crazy, and the worst one, if anybody ever wants to go and, like, there's articles about it, so, like, because people that collect and wanna organize, but Spider-Man legacy numbering is wild because
sure.
it's, like, kinda like X-Men where it went from Amazing Spider-Man to Spectacular Spider-Man to Peter
Right.
Parker Spider-Man, but they tried to keep the number it's dumb. It's not great, let's just call it. Um, let's see if we got anything else that's like super intriguing before. Oh, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I FOC'd the I Killed Giants 15th anniversary edition.
So did I.
Really?
Yeah.
So I Killed Giants is something I did not get to read when it first came out.
Same.
And then the people at my comic shop when I first started getting back into it were telling me how it was a great series. Then a very low budget movie came out that I also never got to see, but was intrigued about. And it's kind of one of those things that over the course of time just kept slipping. And I figured for 1999 to grab the whole series. The premise is essentially there's this young girl. She keeps telling her classmates and like her teachers that she fights and kills monsters with this giant sword. And the question is she telling the truth or is she just a kid with a big imagination? And obviously she's telling the truth. Um,
November 22nd, Manny, I think. Is that Wednesday? November 22nd?
Almost all of this stuff is releasing on November 22nd, correct? It's this FOC. But yeah, I Kill Giants. If you want something kind of high fantasy, kind of manga inspired, like in a way, still reads left to right.
Have you read it?
I have not. I've
Me
seen
neither.
the art. I owned the image first, like the 99 cents, $1, like first issue, and that was it. So, and I think my ex girlfriend maybe had like all the trades, but I never dived into it. But
It's
it's
wild that we
absolutely
both ordered that book and have not
if
read
that
it.
came out now in floppies, it would absolutely be something I'd add like to my pull list.
Gotcha.
So I'm intrigued. I'm excited for that. Let's see what else we got. Misfits Clubhouse is Matt Knowles and Steph Cannon's children's book. Matt Knowles is from Ocala, so I always gotta give him a shout out.
That's what's
Uh,
up.
Plot holes. Doc. All right, I'm gonna put you down, Doc. You're gonna roam the floor. There's some Sonic, Spawn, Star Trek. Um, I'm gonna tell
Oh,
people about Siphon Volume 2. So Siphon Volume 1 was something I read. I even interviewed the creative team. Um, the premise was that the main character was a EMT, and one day something comes and he gets the powers. The powers he gets is that he can siphon the pain out of other people, but it does go into him and he feels the pain. So I think it's a very cool concept. I will say that.
I get it.
Let's see what else. The Man from Maybe, This Little Piggy from Scout, Walking Dead Deluxe, and that's it. And
Pretty
then
much
there's
it,
yeah. So I'm gonna go to new releases, new this upcoming week, and that is New Comic Book Day, October 25th.
And this is always great for me because I forgot what I asked for.
Alice Never After, issue 4 or 5. It's got 3 covers. That reveal cover is dope.
Yeah,
I know you got this Power Rangers cover from Bjorn.
I did.
Rare Flavors 2, I got that A cover. Rom V was just telling me that Rare Flavors 2. So in Rare Flavors 1, it's about the chai,
Hmm.
and in Rare Flavors 2, it's about the Indian spice. As we
Cool.
know, as some Americans know that have tried Indian food, we consider spice to be like buffalo, and it's a very different peppery spice.
Yeah,
Indian spicy is like a whole nother world. So he goes
yeah.
into that in this issue, which I think is cool. It's a cool way to tell a story.
I got the Albuquerque cover.
Nice. Um, Apparently I ordered Slow Burn. Let me remind myself what it is. um,
That's
botched,
hysterical.
botched robbery in New York City. A junkie, her dying partner, and dementia-ridden old man pull into a coal mining ghost town in central Pennsylvania. Obstructed by catastrophic mist, spewed forth by the coal steam fire from the 1960s still burning below. Is it the perfect place to lay low, or is it? So I ordered it. It's intriguing enough that I am ordered that number 1 A cover.
Gotcha.
Did you do spot foil? Something's killing the children.
Yeah, I did.
All right. Action Comics says Philip Kennedy Johnson. Beautiful Carla Cohen cover. I will say that's
Yeah, so
real
gorgeous.
life. The Gabrielle Delato is also great. Alan Scott Green Lantern. This is the Golden Age stuff. I think it's a really cool cover by Robles. Robles. All American Comics 16 facsimile edition. That's the first appearance of Alan Scott, written by Bill Finger. It's good to see Bill Finger get credit. Everybody talks about what's the other guy's name, Bob Kane.
Bob Kane,
Bill Finger's here. So
that's what's up.
Amazon's Attack. That's the book featuring Mary Marvel, Nubia, Yara Flor, and somebody I do not know, Faruka the second. But I'm a big Mary Marvel stan, so
Yeah,
I'm
especially when she's
I'm
in the black outfit.
yeah, I'm reading this. So Batman Beyond, which is again the homies, that is issue 4 right there. That is Lanswick and Kelly.
Oh, sweet.
Batman Catwoman, Red Hood. Let's see what else. Brave and the Bold, that's a thing. Detective Comics is the second issue of the Demon arc. Flash number 2, that Speed Force mystery right here is getting solved. Bjorn, did you do the Bjorn cover on that?
I believe no. I think I got that gelato actually.
I mean, they're both really good.
Yeah, I think I got the gelato.
That's why I have 3 covers for that
Dang,
freaking
that's because
book.
you do.
Harley Quinn, I do love that Jenny Frieson looking like an old mystery pulp
PI,
novel.
yeah, yeah,
And then, dude, I find it so hard to believe that this is Gabrielle Delato because it looks like John Boy Myers mixed with Lee Bermejo, but it's the
yeah. It
same
does.
cover.
It is.
Let's see what else we got. Nice House on the Lake Deluxe Edition hardcover. As I was leaving New York Comic Con, the homie Alvaro Martinez Bueno told me that the rumors are true. He's already done with the sequel to Nice House on the Lake.
Cool.
So that is coming in the next. Stop! Everybody, stop! None of that. None of that.
I know you got dogs, I got kids, we got stuff going on here. Whoop, and I'm out.
I'm disappointed because Kayla's the one barking, and she knows better. She knows better. Power Girl, beautiful lyrics cover. Stargirl Lost Children. That's a new Stargirl. Well, it came out last year, but it's written by Jeff Johns. If you like Stargirl, pick that up. I should have FOC'd that. I'll probably ask Aaron to order that for me. Tales of the Titans 4. That's the Beast Boys story. Wonder Woman second print has a regular edition Jim Lee cover and a foil edition Jim Lee cover. I'm not gonna lie, they knew what they were doing there. They
Yeah.
knew what they were doing there. Wonder Woman 2 is also out with awesome Halloween cover. Marvel is gonna have Amazing Spider-Man 36, Captain America 2, Captain Marvel 1, David Nakayama foil. I don't know if Roberto's gonna be doing that one, but
I would
Roberto,
assume, yeah.
yeah, I would think so. I know Blackbird keeps them under $9.99. Jen Bartel, so I'm not sure if Lauren's doing that one. Geez, they hit all the covers on
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
You didn't want 8 covers, dude?
Nope, not reading it. I'm not gonna
Dark
do it.
X-Men 3, Scotty Young cover. That is a great cover.
Yeah.
Is that Goblin Queen?
Yes, that's Maddie.
Great.
That's my girl.
Hollow's Eve, the big night, because we
Nope,
needed more Hollow's Eve.
not doing it.
Immortal 4, Marvel Unleashed, Jean Grey 3 of 4. Poor Jean Grey can only get a 4-issue series.
It's all, like I said, it's all just placeholding until they
I
sink
know.
it.
Miss Marvel, Predator vs. Wolverine number 2 with a Gary Frank cover. That is sick.
Yeah.
Realm of X3, which I found it interesting. Realm of X3 has 2 covers. Realm of X4 is FOCing with only 1 cover.
Yep.
Oh, look at your boy Lashley on a Star Wars cover. Interesting.
For real though.
Gosh, is that Inhyuk Lee on the A cover or Dr. Aphra? It is. It's a clean cover.
Wow, yeah, you can tell.
Yep, I was gonna say, and I can almost see the signature too, even though it's small. Then they hit you with a freaking Clone Wars cover and a Jedi cover. Nick is in trouble. Good thing he's moving back. Uncanny Avengers 3 Nakayama wraparound. They were doing a lot of these as exclusives for Unknown, the Street Fighter versus covers.
Yep.
So that's cool to see one of those as open order.
I bet it was Darren's idea and they ripped it off of him.
Oh, for sure.
Darren prides himself on being the guy that comes with the concepts for that.
Yep. And then he works with what his artists do well, so he understands his artists as well. He's a genius. Rose Besh, Uncanny Spider-Man. You've got X-Men 129. Roy, what was X-Men 129?
We looked when we FOC'd it, and I can't remember. It wasn't anything that great.
First chapter of the Phoenix Saga.
That's it. There you go.
There you go. So she's getting ready to die.
Or not.
Gargoyles 10 has Nakayama, Perillo, Lyrics, Lee.
Every time.
Everybody, dude. All the winners. Negaduck. I do love Negaduck.
I'm collecting that.
Which cover did you do? Did you do John Tyler?
I think this time I think I did the split face. Did I do the split face? I think I did the split face.
Oh, okay.
I did the Lee. I did the J Lee on that
one. And then not too much more. I don't think there's anything I need to talk about that's on these independent things. I mean, the homie Quad didn't do a Blade Runner. Is Quad doing a Conan?
No, not this time. His got selected for a version for the 3rd printing of.
I saw that. Yeah.
Which I ordered also, so I've got the first and the version because it lends itself really well to a version. That one does. And I would love to get him having him sign and remark that one to go with the Death Dealer would be a rad throwback to my 80s fantasy roots.
Gone #1 is coming out, written and drawn by Jock. I don't know how much written by Jock stuff I've read, but he's a great artist.
Yeah.
He's British as heck, as I learned when I met him at New York Comic Con. He's British. Let's see what else we got. What else we got? I think is I Hate Fairy. Well, I Hate Fairyland did a Scotty Young Walking Dead variant. So
Oh,
Manny,
cool.
if that's I don't know if you FOC'd it, but let me know. I'm sure Dave ordered a couple. So let me know if you need that, Manny. That is a Scotty. It's weird. Scotty didn't do the A, the B, the C, but he did the D. Roy, how many covers of Jungle Drama did you get? All of them?
All of them,
All of
all of
them?
them, all of
Seems
them.
like a great book.
No, but I did get 57 issues of Vampirilla though.
Every cover. Oh, Lady Death. Look at this. What is this?
Yeah.
Didn't I'll tell you we didn't order that.
I
um,
didn't see it, or I might have.
but yeah, I think that's kind of it for what's coming out this week. That's gonna like matter at the local comic shop. Quicksand #4, Jonathan Hedrick. Just want to give a shout out to Jonathan Hedrick. Speaking of Jonathan Hedrick, Rebel Girls #2, Francesca Fattini cover. Francesca Fattini, that is the power couple of Florida comics, if you ask me. Um, and then Spawn, if you're a Spawn person, I don't even think we order Spawn for the wall anymore. I could be wrong. Um, the Outer Spacemen, the Prism #1 seems kind of cool. And TMNT Saturday Morning Adventures is still going. TMNT Stranger Things is still going. That's the one book. James Tynan, Martin Simmons, the creative team behind Department of Truth, are doing Universal Monsters Dracula, just a simple 4-issue miniseries. I believe if it's a success, Skybound will be doing other Universal Monsters, but this is phenomenal. The creative team is obviously phenomenal. Martin had a binder that was his original pages from the first issue. So I was able to look at all of the original art, obviously in physical. So like before it went digital and was cleaned up a smidgen. But dude, Martin
I
is
like it better like that, anyways.
he's perfect for this book. He almost takes the what David Byrne and Francesca perfected in Steak, that spot color where like you kind of are only using reds.
Yeah,
He uses more tones of red, we'll have oranges and stuff like that, but he goes and does it to that effect. There's not a lot of other colors in here. Black, whites, grays, reds, oranges, and I think it works perfectly. I'm not gonna pretend that this is likely gonna be $1 million book. This is not an original IP
right.
owned by David or by James Tynan. This is obviously the Universal Monsters IP. Movies have already been made. Even if they make another movie, very unlikely it will be from the 4 issues that James wrote. But if you like art, you like vampires, or you just like James or Martin, this is a have to pick up book. I did 2 covers of the A because I know as soon as I see those guys again, I'm gonna have
Yeah,
signing and slabbing and maybe even getting a Martin remark on this.
that's what's up.
But that is my must-have book of the week. And
Excellent.
that is New Comic Book Day coming up. I do want to give a shout out to Blackbird this upcoming Saturday, so that'll be before our next show. We have the Halloween brouhaha, which I like. I like the name. Piper had brought up, why isn't it called the brouhaha
Uh,
BHW, like
yeah,
coffee? But here we are. Um, but yeah, guys, like it's gonna be a fun Halloween event all day Saturday, the 28th. I will be working from noon to close. I'll probably be in there early. But what I think is really cool is we're gonna have costume contests for both kids and adults. The kids prizes will probably be cooler than the adult prizes. No disrespect to the adults, but we do it for the kids. Treat bags for the kids while they last. We'll absolutely run out of those. The cafe will have special Halloween drinks and food. We'll be doing games throughout the day and the evening. We'll have Halloween trivia throughout the day. I don't know what pumpkin toss is, but it is in there. Okay. So that Scary Pictionary starts at 6, so that'll be for the last hour of the day. And there is the free Trick or Read Halloween comics. A lot of those, I will admit, are all ages books, which is the reason we do the event. There might be one book that's like an adult horror style book. But yeah, guys, this is going to be a fun event we're putting together over there, and it'll probably be the launching pad for the next 2 months because obviously there will be Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and a holiday event. And we are working with Jonathan Hedrick and Travis Gibb to bring them in December to sign Holiday Spirits when that releases through Band of Bards, because that is something that came out through Orange Cone. And then again, these guys have been lucky enough to see it get a mass release. So that'll be cool. So this would be the launching board for a lot of stuff. We're actually about to start doing an open mic night on Fridays at the store, thinking of doing regular trivia. So this should be the beginning of us having like a calendar of events and things like that. So that'll be exciting.
That sounds
And
amazing.
yeah, and hopefully, and again, it's a great, I want to say, like, and I've done a couple of Halloween events now, probably two, maybe, I think two. This will be the third one. Um, it's always great for the kids. I will, even if your
Yeah.
kid's dying, if your kid's in costume, it's great because they'll see other kids in costumes. They'll see people being like, "Oh my God, Spider-Man!"
Yep.
That's great. But even if your kid does not come in costume, there's tons of free reading materials that you can, just comic books if you
It's
want to get your.
all about the kids, like for
Yeah, it
real.
is.
So
Hopefully we'll
like
have
bring
some
it down.
little, like, trick or treating stations, kinda. So like bring a little bag if you can. Um, but yeah, it'll be fun, and I mean we have a great crowd. Like the weekend crowd there is great. Pretty much every barista is on staff, so like you get everybody's personality over there. Me, Aaron, and Carly. Obviously, Dave and Candace are in the building. So it'll be a very fun day, and that is Saturday, the 28th, October 28th. We open at, it's a Saturday, so we actually
Oh,
open at 9 now, or no,
yep.
10. Sorry, we open at 10. I think. I don't know.
No, it's earlier. Is it 10? I think it's 10. I think it might be
I think it's
10. It
10
might
because
be.
we used to open
Yeah.
at 11 and
Yeah.
we open it out. So we open at 10 now, and it'll be from 10 to 7. And again, bring your kids, come by yourself. But it will be a fun day. Come hungry. We have food. We have great sandwiches on the weekends, so you don't have to feel like you get a meal before you come in.
Don't be lazy. Turn out.
Yeah. And then final thoughts, Roy. Other than Marvel hates you, what are your thoughts?
I think that I don't know. I've been improving myself lately. I quit smoking again. Put the cigars down. I haven't picked them back up, so I've been doing good with that. Been taking vitamins, been watching how I eat, been taking better care of myself, and seeing better results almost instantly. So I would say that if I had any final thoughts, it would be to do a little something for yourself today, like no matter how small it is. You know what I mean? Work on yourself a little bit. Day by day. You'd be surprised where you end up.
I can second that. Yeah, sometimes you need a win, right?
Yeah,
I saw somebody tell me, and I am not a bed maker, right? I don't make my bed,
I
but
love to make your bed one.
somebody had said, I wake up every morning and I make my bed, and it's not because I'm a clean freak or this or that. It's like I immediately at the start of my day can mark a task off as completed, and I'm like, that makes a lot of sense, man. Because sometimes we look at a list of things and we're like, damn, that's a lot. It's overwhelming. I'm never gonna get there. But
Yep.
to wake up in the morning and already be like, cool, I checked something off, like that's great, man. And it's whatever works for people. Like I said, I'm not a bed maker, but it's cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, your brain gives you those little dopamine rewards for accomplished tasks. You know what I mean? They don't like people get they fall into the habit of thinking that it has to be some kind of major task or that, because they themselves don't recognize it as a victory that your brain doesn't. Because your brain still understands you accomplished a task, here's your chemical reward. That's how it works.
Yep.
So start small, man. Do something, and like you said, making your bed's a good one. But just do something better for yourself and you'll be surprised to see what it does for you. Do
For sure.
that.
I think I heard, if it wasn't last week, maybe it's all month, but it's like mental health awareness time of year or whatever. And
Yeah.
some British football club, and they might even be lower division. I can't remember off the top of my head. But it sticks with the video itself, stuck with me. They posted a video as part of this mental health awareness thing. And it was two guys who clearly had tickets next to each other the whole time. And one guy like just looks like very sad, right? And the other guy is very happy, and he's like giving him things every time he sits, and he's cheering, and the other guy's kind of just like. And obviously, you're aware going into it, there's a mental health video, so
Yeah.
your assumption is very much that guy A, the sad guy, is potentially something bad will happen to him. And what I thought was great, obviously this is a video, so nobody was hurt. What I thought was great was the video actually ends with the other guy no longer being in the chair. And the guy who was really sad, goes and puts a scarf, like an in memoriam thing
Yeah.
there. And the whole message is just like check on your friends because it's not as obvious
Yep.
as everybody thinks it is. And I thought that was
Absolutely.
a great message.
It is. I agree 100%.
So, with that being said, be good to yourselves, right? First and foremost, be good to yourself, be good to others. Enjoy comics, read what you like. I'm always going to say read what you like. If you
Yeah.
want to invest in comics, do that secondary to reading what you like because you will enjoy the experience a lot more, I say.
Don't be like me. Don't let fear and deep pockets ruin your enjoyment.
Don't get the Rob Liefeld.
Yeah.
Rob Liefeld is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Dude, read what makes you happy.
And if you can, I know Blackbird still has a small amount of copies, but support Travis. Simple $4.99 one shot. Granite State Punk Breaking Edge. You don't have to have read the first Granite State Punk
You do
necessarily.
not.
Doesn't hurt. Different mythos. He's almost taking the crypt. He's almost doing like New Hampshire cryptids.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that idea. It's something he knows. He grew up in New Hampshire. That's where Travis is from. So support that. And then don't forget to pick up Universal Monsters Dracula #1 when you walk into your LCS this upcoming week. And keep an eye out. I am off next Sunday, so we will see you guys again next Sunday, hopefully.
I'll be here. I don't have a job.
So take it easy, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you again.